another Friday night, so I'm recording the voiceover for the weekly drawing retrospective. So, still running a week behind. I do plan on making maybe two videos in the same night. I mean, record them, finish them in the same night, so I can actually be on a schedule, so to speak. So yeah, this week, I mean, the week before, this one, I went out and did a lot more stuff on the War Babes comic. So I started off with a trooper dude. He's sort of a rocket trooper. You can actually see the rockets right now. I mean, like some sort of jetpack. So I went very loose with a sketch, and then went into the sort of much more refined lines. And I did this because I wanted to do some more polished out stuff, because the sketches were kind of getting old and I felt like I was staying in my comfort zone a little too much. And even with this, I'm still in my comfort zone. Like the subject matter isn't something very alien to me. So basically went in, drew this dude, made a rough, and I kind of had a pretty rough idea from the last time of what I wanted to do, because I had those trooper guys, 3 variations that I did with the helmets and whatnot, and this was like a kind of a fourth that I didn't read, but on paper this was kind of like you could call him a bit of a heavy assault, because he has a lot more chest armor, although the legs aren't that protected, because the main focus of this kind of troop would be to, be very mobile. So they might have a lot of chest weight, but their legs are pretty free to move, so they can, run and get into position pretty fast. And obviously, the rocket pack makes them more versatile. So you can't really see too much of the armor. It's kind of covered by the gun, the very big gun, which I did had a sort of idea of what I wanted to do, but it kind of got blurry by the time I got to make it. It still came out okay, I guess. It works. I wanted some sort of a ball pop design, which for people that don't know, a ball pop rifle is basically has the what the hell do you call it? Not the chamber, the magazine. Yeah, the magazine. It's behind the trigger. It's way behind. It's on God damn it! I'm missing terms here. So yeah, it's basically behind the handle and the trigger, and it's a lot shorter in the front, so you have kind of like a better grip on it and a much better control. But back to the drawing itself, I kind of spent 2 days on this, and I did the line work and polishing it in one night, and the following day when I got back from work, I put in the colors. And for the colors, basically for this faction, that's gonna appear briefly, I will go in and make their sort of theme color would be green. So yeah, I ended up using a lot of greens, a lot of grays made out of greens, and it was kind of tricky to find out the right combination of greens, because working and kind of limiting myself to one color is a bit of a challenge. In the past, I didn't really like color, but I still really am not such a big fan. I would really like to improve my line skills to a point where the line work itself is good enough, but by itself, and the color would just be a accessory, if I may. But yeah, the rifle was another tricky one. I decided to go with some blues and grays made out of blues. It turned out okay. If I look at it right now, it feels a bit balloony. The rifle doesn't have the right type of volume. So yeah, here I think I do make some change. Actually, I don't. Changes have already been made, and I'm adding in the shadows. And I really like how the lighting came out on this fellow here. And at the end, I'm gonna add like one of those little blocky backgrounds and just the shape, just a rectangular shape filled with the color and a little bit of gradient. But it came out pretty nice. I really like the finished stuff. I'm not really into colors that much. Never really liked it. But then again, I do like when something comes up reasonable and acceptable, and that's what kind of gets me to still try to improve on it. Here, I think I'm going into background. This fellow is pretty much done, and now so that was like Monday and Tuesday. So this would be Wednesday. I had another idea for another fellow, because this week was like, let's do some cool soldier dudes, and because I've drawn a lot of chicks before, and I think my previous videos show that. So yeah, this was a very old idea that I had for the comic, and this was basically some sort of android. He doesn't have a head, it's just this stubby little form with the two little dots for eyes, and he's very, very muscular, and he has a bit of a distorted anatomy, as you'll see when I finally finished Rough. He went up pretty smooth. He was pretty fun to draw, because exaggerating body shapes is pretty fun, and not that hard. I was thinking of what to do with his right hand, and then I decided to just go with something simple. Don't really make him hold a weapon. He is more of a medic in the story, although by the time I got to finish the drawing and color it, and I decided, okay, I'm just gonna use it mainly as reference, because there are some details that kind of came up to my mind later on, and I was so far into finishing the thing that I decided just to keep them in my head, and I will use them later on when I'm gonna basically flesh out the character, the particular medical android that's gonna appear in the comic. This would be like a standard model that you see here, like how they look. So yeah, after finishing the roughs for the body, I decided to go in with polishing it, and I added some armor and pouches, lots of pouches on the belt. The process here was a bit different from the previous one, because I didn't really sketch out the armor, so everything was kind of like in my mind, and I didn't really have actually I did have a previous sketch, but other than the shoulder pads, which would be a bit more how can I say it? I want to say weird, but let's say which are a bit more weird than usual. Other than that, there wasn't that much detail in that sketch that I did, so I kind of had to improvise and see what works, what doesn't, and kind of sort of pre-sketched it like a millisecond in my head before I put it down. So yeah, here comes the shoulder pads, which at this point, feel a bit vaguely about how they are attached to his shoulders, but basically, I'll see. Maybe he has some protruding attachments, and you can actually see how he is mechanical. Like, I'm thinking maybe like how the tube connections people had in the Matrix. So he has some of those. So here I'm making the thicker outlines for the exterior shapes to define them and make them overlap each other. And after this, the same process that has been done on the soldier guy is gonna be done here. So basic flats, shadows, and then a little background rectangle with color. I kind of liked. You're gonna see when I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go in and do the coloring. I did a little bit of wear and tear on this armor because the medium that this character is in is very, very tough. Is very sort of desert-like. There's a lot of erosion from the dust and from the sand, and he's gonna have a lot of wear and tear. He still came out looking a bit too shiny, but I think it works for what it is. These are just like little polished drawings to still kind of get the idea out and see what things I imagined in my head would work. And so far, things are working out pretty well. I'm not really that disappointed with what I've thought about. For the color palette, so yeah, on the previous guy I did the greens, but here I wanted to go with obviously being in the desert you do need a different color palette, so decided to go for some grays and mainly made out of blues. Lots of grays made out of blues for the artwork pieces, but for the rest of the stuff, which is some sort of like thick leather material, for the straps and the wrists, I decided to go with more skin colory looking colors, sandy looking colors for the pants and the wrists over there, the wrist straps. And here I'm adding a little bit of effects, and this is the wear and tear stuff that I did. I might have overdone it in some areas, but I think it still came out pretty decent. I don't really do this very often, as I said. Color is it's not like my super, it's not my forte. So yeah, this is when I'm starting to put shadows, and again, pretty basic, nothing too fancy. Just have a finished piece to get the concept out of the head and onto the canvas paper or whatever. And yeah, let's see when I end up here. This is pretty basic here, putting in the highlights, checking a few things. This is when I put the background in, and this is almost done, and it's done. So this was again, this drawing that I previously did took again to about 2 days. Work not too full day, just a few hours each day. So all in all, I think I spent about not even 2 hours. So yeah, this is oh wait a minute, I think my calculations are wrong. Anyway, this is Thursday. So for the Thursday, I wanted to still do some work on the comic, but do a female character just to end the week, because on Friday I obviously do the all render process for the weekly drawing retrospective videos I do. So I started up, and I was feeling like maybe I don't really want to do this because I was pretty tired. So I ended up drawing a random fox girl. But after I finished it, I decided, well, I'm kind of inspired now, and I still end up doing the drawing I wanted to do. The only problem is that I didn't really get to finish it, so this is kind of like a two-parter thing. You're gonna see me sketch out a rough, and next week you're gonna see me finishing out the rough, which came out pretty nice, So yeah, it was a pretty fruitful week as far as the comic goes. Thing is, I kind of depleted most of the stuff I had from the script. Although the medical dude, the android guy, isn't really in the script yet. He was only, he's only as an idea, as a concept, as of now. But for script-wise, what I have in the script for now, it's kind of done. So it basically could make a few pages. I'm not really gonna do that yet. I want to finish the script first, have the whole story from start to finish done. I mean, basically written, and then I'm gonna start doing pages one by one. So yeah, this is basically just a little doodle sketch. I ended up polishing it a little bit, and I'm gonna add a little bit of shading. Right now, whoa, perfect synchro. I didn't even know that I was just gonna start. So yeah, pretty basic, nothing too fancy. And this is after I finish this immediately right now. I start on the sketch for the female character from the comic, one of them. Anyway, she is called Ashblade. I mean, that's kind of like the nickname. I don't really have like proper names for these characters yet, because they're basically the war babes in the comic. So yeah, for the pose went and made just a simple side view, make things look very sexy, and because I want a little bit of a contrast and sort of a heavy metal magazine feel, how they had, the lady characters over there, very good looking, and had all sorts of armor or whatever on them. Of course, I'm gonna have my characters maybe they will be somewhat a lot more dressed than those were. So yeah, I'm kind of approaching the end of the video here. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm gonna be uploading hopefully 2 episodes next Friday, because I do want to get back on track. I think I've kind of trailed behind 1 week for enough now. The cold that I had really kind of screwed over my schedule here. So yeah, see you guys next time. Bye bye.